What? Every single figure? From the Attack of the Clones Wave 1 from May 5th has hit waitlist? I'm spilling my darn coffee, baby. What does this all mean? Let's go ahead and dive into all of this right now. And welcome everybody to another episode of the Market Value Chart Show right here at 6 Scale Cantina, soon to be Aries Cantina. Please go ahead and smash that like button. I so do very much appreciate your support. And hey, while you're at it, please also go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Again, thank you so much for your support. Wave 1, it's gone. Let's get that right out. It's quite shocking news, isn't it? But I've been pointing this out for months, that it was very possible that you were going to see this pre-order only mechanism unfold before our eyes. And sure enough, we were seeing signs of it, right? KX Enforcer Droid to Peacemaker. From Kate Bishop to Commander Apo, so on and so forth. And we were all kind of wondering, hey, does this only entail those second-rate characters, second-tier characters, if you will, or variations of characters that aren't as popular as, main, variations of characters? And I say, no, it's not limited to that. Further evidence, C-3PO and R2-D2, and we all know how high that original trilogy R2-D2 is. Forget about the Force Awakens one. The original trilogy one is in the secondary market for Star Wars Hot Toys. It's high. It's high. This is gone. Gone. And obviously, whether you could put 2 in a basket or 6, like the R2, you could put 6 in a basket. 3PO, you could put 3. The battle droid, you can put 2. None of that even matters. They're just all gone. And you have to wonder, is it possible that the formula that I have been suggesting of more announcements with far less production and more 2.0s, 3.0s, so on and so forth, that is the formula for the future? And I say yes. With, here's the kicker, a pre-order only mechanism. And look, we could sit here and debate all day if C-3PO is a top-tier figure or not, character. But you're also now starting to see, and we can even debate it with R2 if you'd like, okay? We're starting to see low stock warnings with the collector's edition of the DX28. And I have been predicting since this came out that this would hit waitlist well before it gets officially released. And once you start getting these type of figures, characters with the name 3PO, R2, you want to take it a step further, baby. DX28, you're starting to see, oh wow. Wow, they don't want to keep Darth Vader in stock. They don't want to keep 3PO in stock? Doesn't Sideshow still have their 3PO in stock? Why isn't Hot Toys keeping it in stock? Why are we keeping R2D2 in stock? You mean to tell me that none of you are army building with a darn battle droid? What does the clone pilot stink? How about that, the clone trooper from this wave? And, we were all wondering, well, Commander Appo's with a bike, it's more expensive, and the heavy weapons clone, oh yeah, Boba Fett's a quarter scale. What you have to wonder is any figure like the DX-28, like Cad Bane, are they immune? And at this point, I say no. Let's look at some evidence. Look, this is all very fascinating. All very fascinating. This is at Sideshow. Only Star Wars. I got to sort it out best-selling wise. Okay. Look at Padme. Look at Anakin, number one. And they are number one when you sorted out everything from Hot Toys. Marvel, DC, what have you. Padme, Natalie Portman, number one. Number one. Anakin, number two. Captain Rex, with the buy one, get one at 50% off. It's part of that deal. You can put Captain Rex in there. Number three, for weeks already, at least a few weeks, since they've been having this buy one, get one at 50% off deal going on. And we could debate all day on what characters are popular or not. Captain Rex broke the internet. You can't even get rid of these. How much stock did they have? You can't even get rid of Lando Calrissian. Tusken Raiders are still in there. Last I checked, that was an original 12-back figure. The Armorer is a pretty prominent character. If you have if you're interested in the heavy infantry Mandalorian and the original Durasteel, or even the new Beskar Mandalorian, for a lot of people, having that armor in the collection is very, very important. But they cannot even get rid of the armor. Lando Calrissian. Some of these Boba Fetts. Captain Rex. So on, so forth. So when you look at that, when you take a look at that, is the DX-28 immune? Obi-Wan Kenobi from the Obi-Wan series, is that immune? Luke, Bespin, DX-25. Are those three immune? Do you really honestly believe that they're just going to put those in stock because magically in this economy, people are going to have more money for that Bespin Luke than Captain Rex, than the Boba Fett 2-pack, than the Tusken Raider, than Lando? No. And typically anyway, in an economy such as this, where the emphasis is on food, utilities, essentials, gasoline, you're not going to have companies that are going to stock up on these collectibles, especially when there is right now no particular concrete end of sight to when the economy starts going on a real uptick. No concrete evidence. And when you look here, just looky here. I mean, honestly, they've basically had this deal on since before Black Friday. And a lot of times when you run specials, and it's not just this company, it's so many companies right now. But it's a case in point. If there's always going to be a discount, why in the wizard's name would you ever buy at retail again? Why? All you got to do, besides believe, all you got to do is just wait for the discount. I wouldn't buy it. If I knew something was going to come out and be $300, but if I wait, I could pick it up for $150. Why in the world wouldn't I wait to get $150 off? Uh, you act on a discount when it's for a limited time and you have a limited window of opportunity to jump through that and be like, whoa, I really saved on that. That's usually this much money. But right now, we're getting to the point, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, where we can't exactly say that. I mean, can you honestly tell me right now, with that armor, okay, that the armor is $245, it's worth that right now for you to just buy straight out, then pay taxes on it, then pay another $25 in shipping? Is that worth it for you? Really? Is that worth $285, $290 to you? Is that what it's worth? Come on, answer the question. Is that what it's worth? Let's pause for some coffee. That's why some of these figures that you're looking at right here are still in stock. Boba Fett 2-pack. Some of these other ones. I could tell you right now that there's collectors waiting for those to be able to get on discount. I know for a fact collectors waiting for that Ahsoka Clone Wars one to go on a better discount than just a $5 shipping. You're seeing discounts every single. No one would even be thinking it's going to go on a discount if the discounts were a very limited window. Not all the time. Not constant and recurring over and over and over and over again. And then on different days, 20% off limited time, 25% off limited time. On some rare cases, there have been 30% off limited time. And there may be scenarios, as I have been pointing out, even before the end of the holiday season, where you may get upwards of 40 to 50%, maybe on some unique pieces. We'll have to keep an eye on it to see. But with all that, why are you going to pay retail? And believe me, I've shown you the market data from the market value chart and 6scalecantina.com. People want these Hot Toys figures. Go look up a Clone Wars Ahsoka. Go look up a 2-pack Boba Fett. Go look up Boba Fett and the Throne. Go look up a Tusken Raider. You've got auctions going 37, 47 bids, all kinds of different bidders trying to get it at $170, not $255. Trying to get these figures at $190, $200, not $265, $270. And it doesn't matter if it's Captain Rex, Ahsoka, or some kind of trooper nobody cares about, or some character no one cares about, if you want to debate it that way. That is why this DX28 Darth Vader, as I've been pointing out for months, is not immune to the low stock warning well before it gets officially announced. Well before. And what's really, really interesting about this figure, let's go to it right now. So, pulling this up onto the screen. Low stock remaining. You see that flashing right there under the $295 on just the regular The regular collector's edition, the non-exclusive ones, Darth Vader. You know, one of these that they could go ahead and keep in stock for forever and a day. It's going to be on waitlist soon. And then before long, is it possible that the exclusive version and the deluxe version and the deluxe version exclusive, that they are also going to get this low stock warning? And as I've been saying, yes. Why? This is the key. This is the key. And listen very, very carefully to this. As you're starting to see, with a lot of my analysis, it actually coming to pass. And here's the reason why. This Darth Vader came out. It was number one for almost, 7-8 weeks. Number one forever. People were excited about it. So excited about it. I was excited about it. You were excited about it. So many were excited about it. There was a lot of pre-orders. A lot of collectors that were going to get this already pre-ordered it. It's done. Whether it was through Sideshow, for instance, I was putting up on the screen, this comic shop, their local comic shop, this place, that place, they already pre-ordered it. Big Bad Toy Store, whoever it is, pre-order. 8 weeks worth around number one. And then it starts to dip down from number one, but it still stays in the upper half. And that's more and more pre-orders going on. And it continues to go lower and lower and lower in the chart because it's been exhausted at that point. Whoever was going to get it, particularly in this economy, was going to get it. Now, what typically happens is once a figure is officially announced, people wait for the final production photos, and some make a decision then, and then they go ahead and buy it. But it is a far less percentage of buyers at that point than initially. So once you put that low stock warning up there, that effect starts to take place at that point. From there, it's just about exhausted out, even in a good economy. In a bad economy, that completely exhausts it out. So on top of that, are you going to put in stock an extra 10,000 or 5,000 of these in a warehouse waiting for people to buy it? Are you going to bank on 5,000, 7,500, 10,000 new Hot Toys collectors that are going to come in and just buy it at retail and buy that Darth Vader? Or on a different way to be able to generate more money, are you going to put out a 2.0 version of this Darth Vader? Aries, what are you talking about? From this very same series, the Obi-Wan series, they also had Darth Vader with the full Hayden Christensen head sculpt. You know when he was coming out of the back of the tank and his head was coming on to get the full sculpt? You know, the unbattle damaged one from the scene with Obi-Wan? Yes. You would have way more of a chance of selling an extra 10,000 of that new 2.0 version of this figure than sitting on 10,000 extra of these for collectors that are coming in. Those days, I believe, my friends, are over. Gone. That party is done. That's not going to happen no more. Which is why you're going to have more announcements, but less production. And then to compensate, all that equals is, okay, more 2.0s, 3.0s, variations, or sometimes reissues. That's exactly what you're seeing. You got more of an opportunity, in other words, to sell a different Darth Vader from that series than trying to sell another 10,000 upon this piece already that has been exhausted. Well, what about if new collectors come in over the years? Sure. Then in 24 months or 36 months, is it possible that they can straight out reissue this DX28? And I say yes. But again, they are going to do that with some of these. I don't think it's going to be a great number, though, but they are going to do it with a handful of them. But they're not going to do it within a month or two of these. It's going to be years. That's the reason that they're taking these off of order. They're exhausted already. To make a second batch for 100 of you, 200 of you, they're not going to do it. Will they come out with it again? Possibly. We'll have to see. Or it could actually be a different variation. So not only collectors that missed out on this can get it, but maybe some real particular collectors, and I am one of those. If you give me something a little bit extra, a little bit of a different base, maybe an extra accessory, maybe I buy the new set, even if it's the same thing. I'm going to do the same thing if they do that with the Dark Side Anakin, which they're going to do. And I believe they're going to call that Darth Vader instead of Dark Side Anakin, and I believe they're going to give you a different base, not the Lava Droid. And I already have that Dark Side Anakin. Just the fact that they're tweaking it a little, does that mean that they get the Dark Jedi to spend his money on getting a second variation? Yes, I will on that one. And that's where they get you. And that's how they make money. Salute. Cheers. Cobb Vanth right here. You see him on the screen there. Padme. Let's look at Padme and Cobb Vanth. You think that's the last time you're going to see Timothy Oliphant? Let me tell you right now, you're not only going to get this version of Cobb Vanth, you're probably going to get 3 or 4 versions of him over the next years to come. Easily. Next 2-3 years. And if you don't believe me, go watch the end of the Book of Boba Fett, especially the ending credits scene, when Disney themselves chose that character as an ending credits character to promote. That should tell you right there that Disney is going to promote the living heck out of Timothy Oliphant in this Mandoverse. And that absolutely spells not only 2.0, but 3.0 of this figure, which not only Disney knows, but Hot Toys knows as well. And even if you won't buy it because you're not an Oliphant fan, or you don't think it's popular enough, they're going to do it anyway because they chose to put him in the ending credit scene. So more of him is coming. And he's probably going to get a different outfit. He's probably going to look a little bit different anyway from whatever they're going ahead and helping him with medically. And who knows if he's going to get armor of his own or what else he's going to look like as his character evolves and evolves. But that head sculpt, my friends, will 1000% be used again. And forget about Padme right here. Forget about her. Because I've already been pointing out for months that they're going to have an absolute field day. And I mean field day with this Natalie Portman head sculpt that they are going to make quite possibly more variations than all the Leias, and maybe even double that from all the outfits that she had within the prequels. Just in the prequels. Forget about the animated series. And let's sort out number 1. Let's go ahead and put on, see if I can put Marvel on here before I share the screen. And good. I was able to go ahead and do that. Yeah, let's go ahead and put this on. Look right here. Padme. Padme. From what? What was the year? When did Attack of the Clones come out? 2002, right? The Phantom Menace was 99, 2002, and yeah. Number one. Number one. Number one. When was the last time Natalie Portman was in Star Wars 2, by the way? She's number one right now. Anakin's number two. She's number one. Sideshow sees it. Hot Toys sees it. You see it. I see it. Everyone sees it. Go ahead and start calculating. Cha-ching, cha-ching, cha-ching. Go ahead. Start thinking that through in your head. When you start thinking about that particular figure and Queen Amidala from the Phantom Menace, the different costumes of Queen Amidala from the Phantom Menace, the different costumes of Amidala from the Attack of the Clones, the different costumes of Padme from Revenge of the Sith. And this one is great. This is just one of the few that you are going to see them capitalize on for sure. It is an absolutely stellar, magnificent work of art and beauty to look at this sensational, shockingly sensational release from Hot Toys for Star Wars for the Attack of the Clones, Phase 2, Wave 2, whatever you want to call it. She is absolutely awesome. And she will 1,000%, in my view, listen very carefully, hit waitlist well before she comes out. And once this is exhausted, and that Padme is number one, for how long it's going to be number one, and we're trading off with Anakin, 1 and 2, for how long, it's going to get exhausted. And whoever's going to buy this figure or want this figure is going to go ahead and get this figure. And then when it gets to low stock warning, anyone who is on the fence is going to go ahead and get this figure. At that point, it is exhausted. So you're going to sit on another 7,500 of her in a warehouse, or 10,000, so that you can go ahead and give buy one, get one at 50% off? Or as if you give me another variation of this character in the literally dozens of different outfits that she adorned for, and that character and for Star Wars. Or are you going to go ahead and sell a few thousand of each one of those and sell them quicker and without no problem at all? That's exactly 1,000% where this is all headed. And what do I mean by that? 2.0s, more announcements, less production. And that is 1,000% what you're seeing with Hot Toys moving forward with their 6-scale collectible line. No one's immune to it, whether it's the Darth Vader or Padme, whether it's the KX Enforcer droid or Reva. It doesn't matter the popularity of the character or your opinion of the character or any of that with the character. It all has to do with the fact that it is way too risky to sit on stock for any amount of time in this economy. It's too risky. It's way too risky for this stuff. Better to go ahead and sell more pre-orders and When you go ahead and do that, you create a sense of urgency. You create a sense of action. And you also create an equal and opposing reaction to cancel your pre order. What do you mean by that, Aries? How long have we waited for C3PO, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen? How long have we waited? Think about it. So, how many people are going to run to cancel this pre order now? So, I want you to chew on that and think about that for a minute. Because so many people cancel their pre orders, right? We've waited how long for a 3PO? How many people you think are going to cancel this pre order now? DX28 goes on waitlist. Beloved Darth Vader with a head sculpt of Hayden Christensen, battle damage. My goodness. Oh my God, it's awesome. How many are going to cancel that? Thousands? Going to cancel? You're going to cancel this? You're going to cancel it? You're not going to cancel it no more, are you? You create that action. Now, not only do you create pre-orders, but real pre-order money where it's only going to be a smaller percentage now that are going to cancel the pre-orders. And because only those that can really afford it or really want it are going to get it, you're not going to be dealing with as many, I will say, cancellations as you were with what has been going on with this for the last couple of years. So you take care of that problem as well when you're doing this. The other thing that you take care of is you create demand. Low supply creates higher demand. And even if new collectors come in and say, shoot, I missed out on that 3PO. Oh, wait a minute. There's another one from A New Hope with like shiny. Yeah, well, I'll take that one. Really? You'll probably sell more of that one anyway than this one to begin with. Oh, but then when that one goes on waitlist, oh, they're crazy. Now people can't get the A New Hope one. I don't think they'll have a problem getting rid of one from The Empire Strikes Back, especially if it's paired with a Chewbacca or works with a Chewbacca, right? I know I'd buy that one for sure. You wouldn't buy an ROTJ one? You wouldn't buy one from Return of the Jedi? They can do this over and over and over again. But Aries, they missed out on Attack of the Clones. Don't worry, brother. Don't worry, sister. They're allowed to reissue this someday over the rainbow. They're not losing at all. Where they would lose is that they want to keep 10,000 of these in stock, waiting for you to buy an Attack of the Clones C-3PO. You know, this 3PO, the one that you were dreaming about for years, that they would put out this version from that movie. I'm sure you were all dreaming of this one, that this was the first one that was going to come out. Right there when they came out with this version, it was a clear message to me and to you that they already knew that they were coming out with many versions of this figure and that this one wasn't the jackpot one you were waiting for. As a matter of fact, they're probably going to make you wait for the jackpot one all the way up to 2027. I could see them giving you Return of the Jedi one. As a matter of fact, I'm calling it right now. You're going to get a C-3PO from the Return of the Jedi. This one's gone. So with the 40th anniversary Return of the Jedi, you're going to get this one. You're probably going to get a couple from the Favreau and Filoni stuff that's going on Disney Plus. You're going to get that there. You can get one from Rogue One. You can get one from Empire Strikes Back. God, you can get one from Revenge of the Sith. That's coming up too. They can give you 6, 7 of these before we even get to the 50th anniversary of Star Wars. And then they'll give you that one. And you're going to buy that one because that's what's from A New Hope. No matter how many versions you have. They're not dumb. Why in the world they're going to give you that first? So you could skip out on this when they come out with this last? Think about it. They're stopping to produce more C3POs because they'd rather give you a different version. They'd rather go ahead and they have more of a chance of selling 5,000 die-cast 40th anniversary Return of the Jedi C3POs than sitting on another 5,000 of these suckers after they're exhausted. They just do. That's the whole point. They don't need to sit on Darth Vader for little Joey to be happy, or little Susie to be happy, or new collector Susie, or new collector Joey to be happy coming into this hobby, because it's nice for them to be able to buy one. They're just going to go ahead and get a different Darth Vader from that Obi-Wan series, the one that isn't battle damaged. And then furthermore, they'll be prompted to pre-order that. And yeah, you missed out on the battle damage one. So when the next DXs come out, DX33, DX41, don't hold out on it. If you want it, go ahead and pre-order it, because as Sir Isaac Newton said, well, it was actually the Hot Toys wizard disguised as Sir Isaac Newton, for every action, there is an equal and opposite reaction, which is exactly 1,000%, I believe, what you're dealing with here with Hot Toys right now. It is as this headline says, complete wipeout. Every figure that you see on pre-order right now, with every one of those figures, is it possible that they're all eventually going to get a low stock warning? Every one of them. While they're on pre-order? And I say, yes. I think it's possible. It's not a guarantee, but it's absolutely, certainly pointing in that direction. What does that do? It avoids, number one, continual discounts of buy one, get one 50% off, or 20 to 30% discounts over and over again. Because you could only do that over and over again, week after week and week after week and time after time and time after time, before collectors and buyers get wind that they really don't have to buy it at that price. They can just wait for the bargain bin, which was also a conversation that was going on within the community a couple of years ago, all the way up through now. And the one thing that I was pointing out all through that time is not only were we all paying attention, but so was Hot Toys. And so were the officially licensed distributors. And they were 1,000% not going to sit there and allow this to happen forever and ever. Eternity. They weren't. They were going to make some changes. And that's exactly what you're seeing right now. And part of those changes are these early low stock warnings for pre-orders turning into wait lists. We're going to go ahead and take a look now on what I really think, what figures I think are going to be next up with low stock warnings. Before we do that, take a look here, baby. This is 6scalecantina.com. If you don't have 6scalecantina.com bookmarked, you just may want to consider doing so. It has all the latest information on everything in the market for Star Wars Hot Toys and everything in the secondary market, what the current trends are, if they're up or down, what the current prices are, if they're steady within the market value chart, the biggest movers within a particular 2-week span in the biggest movers section, what's up for pre-order on Star Wars Hot Toys, how many are up, when they're due out, all that jazz, and everything that is going on at 6 Scale Cantina, Aries Cantina. Again, 6scalecantina.com. And right here you could see, up onto the screen, when you go to the homepage, 6scalecantina.com, look at the new episode that is going to be coming up here real soon for insiders. So right here, as you can see on the screen, this is an insiders exclusive new video. It's going to be uploaded on Monday morning, December 19th, with the headline Production Numbers, Insider Extra, Wizards crystal ball on production numbers actuals. And all you got to do to check out this episode is click on the little join button on the YouTube channel. See everything that it comes with to become a member, a Cantina Insider. If you think you can benefit from it, you just may want to consider joining. And of course, I very much would appreciate your support. But if you go here and scroll further down, you would see in this whole yellow highlighted area so many banners, examples of what you get if you become a Cantina Insider. And if you look at the last one that's up over here, right under my video, you can see right there, Buckle Up, Insider Extra. And this was before the Attack of the Clones. Phase 2 was teased. Before it was teased, forget about Anakin and Padme coming out. You saw right there the week earlier, Wizard's Crystal Ball. Are you kidding me? The Hot Toys Wizard. You see Padme right on there. You see Mace Windu on there. You see Anakin from the Attack of the Clones on there. This is the kind of content you are going to get from the Dark Jedi, from the Dark Side, from the Hot Toys Wizard. The Dark Side Wizard. That is funny. Again, just click on the little join button. You can get a little bit of a highlight here and see everything that it comes with. I do appreciate your support. Again, the next show is going to be production numbers, heightened analysis, expanded thoughts. That's going to piggyback on this show. Anyway, enough of that for that plug to become a member for the channel. Next up, what is going to go on waitlist next? What are some of these changes that Hot Toys and distributors are making? And one of the changes are early waitlists. And certainly when you pull up onto the screen, I'm going to go back to the DX28. And pulling that up here, you already see a low stock warning on just the collector's edition. Before long, everything here with the DX28 is going to go on an early wait list. And if it could happen with Darth Vader, it will happen with every single one that you see up there. Because arguably, Darth Vader, and we've been waiting for a Darth Vader like this for a long time, Lord Vader, besides Luke, is one of the most iconic characters, not only in Star Wars, but in anything of all time. Pause, let's have a sip of coffee. Cheers to Lord Vader. Cheers to George Lucas, baby. Low stock warning already on a collector's edition. This is going to go on waitlist really soon. And let's go ahead and take a look at a figure that is also epic, but is not even selling as well as that Vader, and it hasn't since it came out, although a very strong seller. Rest assured, this will 1000% get a low stock warning soon and go on waitlist well before it comes out. And when you talk about, again, collectors that need an Obi-Wan Kenobi, you're going to have no issues with an Obi-Wan Kenobi. Are we still getting another Obi-Wan from this series? Are we still going to get an Attack of the Clones Obi-Wan Kenobi? Are we going to get an Obi-Wan Kenobi for the Attack of the Clones Wave 2 line? And I say, oh, wait a minute. I'm getting a call here from the Hot Toys Wizard. Let's go ahead. Let's pick it up. Wizard, happy holidays and Merry Christmas to you as well. Yes, my New Year's resolution, to predict figures before you do. I know I don't have any other resolutions yet. I still have a couple of weeks to make them up. Don't rush me, baby. Don't rush me. But I'm going to rush you. Why? Really? So we are going to get Obi-Wan Kenobi from the Clone Wars. And we're going to get another Obi-Wan Kenobi from the Kenobi series. And we're getting Obi-Wan Kenobi, really, from the Attack of the Clones. What a wizard. Well, the Hot Toys wizard hung up. He was trying to say that he was going to interrupt the program tomorrow during 6-Scale Raw. Shameless plug, 6-Scale Raw tomorrow night, December 19th, 8:15 p.m. Eastern. Is it possible? And I say, yes. Of course it's possible. Tomorrow's 6-Scale Raw. As in a matter of fact, baby, here you go. Pulling this up onto the screen. You could go right onto the channel right now and right onto YouTube, and you can see it pulling up right there. There's the banner for it. 6-Scale Raw. It's up on the screen. Go to the YouTube channel. Click on that little notification button, baby. We're going to be going over Hot Toys 2022 year-end review. And I'll have a full panel in the house. We'll be doing grades on innovation, announcements, releases, teases, and overall quality. Are you kidding me? Also, market talk. Plus, Aries' top 5 non-character specific shocks changes for Hot Toys in 2023. You absolutely don't want to miss 6-Scale Raw. Again, tomorrow night, 8:15 p.m. Eastern. Go ahead. You can go on YouTube right now. Click the little bell notification or whatever the heck that is so you can be reminded of it. Anyway, going back to the DX27. Yes, this one's going to be coming up right on the heels of the Darth Vader. And it's quite possible, which is going to be real interesting. Real interesting here. It's quite possible that Darth Vader, going back to him, you already see a low stock warning. Okay? You already see a low stock warning on the DX28. Pulling that back up on the screen. And you have to wonder, a character that's arguably not as popular as Darth Vader, the third sister, does she have a low stock warning? And I say no. Why? She came out later. But you would think Darth Vader would just be up right before it comes out. I was actually thinking that it could be. And again, what I'm trying to say is, in my view, I don't necessarily believe that they are prioritizing these via a character importance tier. I really don't. I think maybe a little bit, but it's more graded, it's more prioritized through a specific time window. This Darth Vader is up on pre-order for a certain window, and then it will be gone. The third sister will be up for a certain window, and then it will be gone. The Grand Inquisitor will be up for pre-order for a certain window of opportunity, and then it will be gone. Cad Bane will be up for a certain window, will be gone. Cobb Vanth, and then will be gone. And what they're going to do there is there's going to become a pattern where you're seeing consistency. And a pattern of, I need to act on these if I want to get these. And when the low stock warning comes up, as you just saw with the Attack of the Clones Wave 1, some people are like, oh, well, R2's not in trouble, and that you can still put 6 in a cart. I guess I still got 2 months on that. You didn't even have 2 days, baby. Baby, again, forget about how much you could put in a cart. I mentioned that a year ago. It doesn't really matter. It's 6 in a cart, 10 in a cart, 1 in a cart. The one that you could put 1 in a cart may stay in stock longer than the one you could put 6 in a cart in. So don't even worry about that stuff. It's not necessarily a prioritization of character. By default, Darth Vader is going to be #1 best-selling when it first gets announced, much longer than the third sister. So they don't have to prioritize anything. We do that as collectors. We speak it. Okay, Riva was not number one for 8 weeks. Wasn't number one at all, actually. It's going to sell what it's going to sell, and then it's going to be done. It has a certain window of opportunity on pre-order, and then it's gone. Vader has a certain window. We decide to make it number one. That's great. Either way, both of those figures get exhausted by us in whatever way that they do within that window of span that it's up on pre-order, and then done. That's the end. Coffee. Which ones are up next? Obviously, Darth Vader, because you can see with the screen up on over here. Could be quicker than the Grand Inquisitor. Could be quicker than the Third Sister. Obi-Wan Kenobi will be following suit very, very, very shortly. When you look at figures such as this one, buckle up. None are immune. Not even Luke Skywalker himself is immune. As powerful as he is with the Force, the window of opportunity to get this 2.0, this second version of Luke Skywalker Bespin, is going to come to an end. And some will arrive earlier than others, and there may not be any specific rhyme or reason that we understand anyway. You know, as if Darth Vader, the DX-28, goes on waitlist before Third Sister. That's conversation right there. And obviously, you could think the obvious is, well, the timing, that came out after. But it looks like the DX-28 is going to go on waitlist before the Luke Bespin over here. And quite honestly, the Luke Bespin came out earlier than the Darth Vader. But when you look at all these figures over here, you know, we see up on the screen, you know, Padme Amidala, Anakin. Scroll down, more pre-orders. You're seeing the ARC Trooper, of course, the Darth Vader. 3PO is gone. You got a 501st Legion clone trooper from the Obi-Wan series. R2 is gone. The clone pilot from the Wave 1 is gone. The battle droid is gone. Are you kidding me here? Wow. The clone trooper is gone. Yeah, I'm skipping some of the figures, and I'll explain why in a minute. Wow. Luke Skywalker Bespin still there. Crosshair still there. Cad Bane still there. DX-27 still there. Continuing to go down. R5-D4, the pit droid, all that jazz is still there. Cobb Vanth still there. Fennec Shand still there. Casca Reeves still there. The Grand Inquisitor still there. Boba Fett from the Book of Boba Fett 6 scale, still there. 501st Legion AT still there. Purge Trooper still there. Continuing to go down. Yeah. Third Sister still there. So, you see that I skipped some of these. There are certain figures that were announced early, or in 2021, and earlier in 2021, such as the chrome-plated, Pedro Pascal head-sculpted Mandalorian. Okay? Such as the deepfake Luke Skywalker. Such as the DX Ahsoka Tano from The Mandalorian Season 2. Some of those figures, even to Fennec Shand, we don't really know if they fall into the scope of the figures that we've been talking about here. They're kind of in the middle, in a purgatory, if you will. I believe that they were, in a way, still under the same mechanism of pre-ordering tons of stock. Not only for these official distributors to order tons of stock on top of their pre-orders for them to have in stock, but extra stock for their other resellers that buy off of them to keep in their comic shops, their online stores, just an abundance of stock. And a lot of times when you put in POs, purchase orders, initially, it's very hard when you have an agreement with a manufacturer to backtrack all those pre-orders, even if you got wind, hindsight is 2020, in the future, like, crap, shoot, darn it, I ordered way too much of these, as evidenced with everything else. We're going to be stuck on these for forever and a day. My goodness, what do we do? Now, I do think with some of them, they've been able to make some concessions. And I pointed this out before, that on my last show, that there are some figures here, very interestingly, like the Dark Trooper, like the Clone Wars Ahsoka Tano, like Boba Fett and the Throne. Just looking at those three, they don't have any, they're not part of any percentage off, and they're not part of the buy one, get one at 50% off. Why? Is it possible that it's because they started to get wind with those and they were able to somehow scale back on the production? Work with Hot Toys on that? I've seen it happen before in business, in production, in manufacturing. It's not always a slam dunk, and it's not always easy, but depending on the relationship, it can be done. So you have to wonder, what, if any of that has any accuracy at all, or in play here, what about the chrome-plated Mando with the Pedro Pascal head sculpt? What about the deepfake Luke? What about the DX Ahsoka? What about Fennec Shand? All of those were announced in 2021, not 2022. And I think it's a crapshoot. Nobody really knows. I think 50-50, it can be as many of those as Captain Rex in the Emperor, and Captain Rex, in the Armor. And then you could take it to the bank that you're probably going to get a buy one, get one 50% off next year during the holiday season, next year on Black Friday, next year at Spooktacular on those figures for sure, because in this economy, they will not be able to get rid of it. Whether or not they were able to make concessions on those, tweaks in their orders, we'll have to keep an eye on it. Figures that were 2022, but kind of really early in 2022, before the DX25 Luke Skywalker, i.e. Casca Reeves, Axe Woves. We'll have to see. Anything from the DX25 above, forget about it, baby. Absolutely forget about it. But very, very interesting stuff here, for sure. Going back here to Sideshow. So which ones are up next? Besides with those ones I mentioned, which are going to be very, very interesting to keep an eye on. Everything that's going on pre-order here, post DX25 and right now, gone. So there's going to be a limited window. When you go ahead and take a look at that Padme and that Anakin, it's a limited window, just like as I mentioned earlier in the show. You'll have a limited time on this absolutely gorgeous, stunning piece here. And look at her there with Anakin, and the same darn thing with the Anakin figure from Attack of the Clones, just like you saw with Wave 1. It's going to have a limited window, and you're going to see this Phase 2. That's absolutely sensational. Just take a look at that. I mean, this is crazy. How many of you cannot wait, are going to spill your darn coffee again when Mace Windu gets officially announced? They have us all dangling, following that carrot on that announcement. I can't wait. You wonder. You have to wonder if the Mace Windu one is going to have rolling eyes function. But whether it's Mace Windu or Padme or Anakin or Obi-Wan or the Super Battle Droid or it's R2 or it's C-3PO or it's a trooper, it doesn't really matter. They're all going to be gone. And I think that is the moral of this analysis here at any rate. Let's go back to 6scalecantina.com and let's take a look at what is going on here within the biggest mover section, which is the second menu item here at 6scalecantina.com. And let's take a look exactly at what's going on right here. So looking at this, wow. Luke Stormtrooper on the rise from A New Hope. Obi-Wan Kenobi, any Obi-Wan Kenobi. Revenge of the Sith, A New Hope, on fire. We're going to get into that. Snowtroopers 2-pack, forget about it. Dark Side Anakin on the move again. The K2SO, as I've been telling you, on the move again. And some of your usual suspects here on your biggest movers for this week. Let's get into some of these. And, we're going to tie this into exactly how this correlates to some of the new rarity, limited editions, if you will, of some of these figures. You could say the whole Attack of the Clones. This whole wave. Whether it's this figure right here, 3PO, okay? Or this figure right here, R2-D2. Or this figure right here, the Battle Droid. And this figure right here, this awesome clone trooper. Or this pilot right here, the clone pilot right here. You could say that all of these are limited run pieces right now. Whether they're limited run forever, we have no idea. Nobody knows for sure if they'll reissue it or not. But right now, these are pretty limited. And we're going to take a look at how some of the figures that are out of stock, that you can't get anymore, how they're going in the secondary market, and how this all correlates together. Because that whole wave is gone. The whole wave is gone. Dark Side Anakin continues to rise a little bit back up, even on the heels of that tease with the 501st Clone Trooper variation, just from the Obi-Wan series that was just put out a few weeks ago, and having this Dark Side Anakin, if you will, teased within not only one, but a couple of the production photos for that figure. And Hot Toys knows, listen to me very carefully, Hot Toys knows, in putting that in two pictures, okay? Two pictures for a figure that they're advertising in, and actually had to state within both of those pictures that the lightsaber effect and the Dark Side Anakin in there is sold separately. They know many of us can't buy this figure. They know that it's going for $800 to $1,000. They understand this. That's why they put it in the picture, not to frack with you. Listen, when they're putting it in here, obvious, everything about 2022 has been, for Hot Toys, the message to me and to you is everything that we're saying is going to happen. So when they put this in two pictures, already take it to the bank. It's going to happen. It's probably going to be called Darth Vader. It's probably not going to come with the lava droid. It's probably going to come. And right here, even in this volatile economy, and this is a $738, not including the near $30 in shipping. So right there at $770 with taxes, over $800 for an Anakin figure. And Darkside Anakin just continues to be a monster going back up. And now all of these are gone. Gosh, and this is $890 with free shipping, though, mind you, and brand new as well. going in there. So again, some of your prominent rare pieces, like your Arena Suit Boba Fett, which is not as old and as seasoned as this release, because it was limited run, it's a grail. Just like this is a grail right now. So you have to wonder, is the Attack of the Clones C-3PO a grail? Is that R2 a grail? I could tell you right now that R2D2 is less run, is gonna have less production numbers than the OT one. And that one comes in special packaging. Chew on that. So again, as I've been pointing out in some of these episodes, even in an economy where it absolutely is a buyer's market over a seller's market right now, with some of the very rare pieces or pieces that are hard to get, coveted pieces, not only are they staying within the range that is, published in the market value chart at 6scalecantina.com, on many of these releases, they're actually rising in value, like the 2-pack Snowtroopers, like the Snowtrooper by himself, like Han Solo, any version of Han Solo from the original trilogy, like the Luke Skywalkers, like the Princess Leia's, and not just the original trilogy figures, but prequel figures, such as these Anakin Skywalkers, or forget about it, even higher, the Obi-Wan Kenobis from Revenge of the Sith. It's going to be your prominent characters such as that. Could put up a Tarkin right now, just by himself, ongoing. With 4 days and 7 hours left, already 20 bids and up to $510, and it's used. I want you to think on that for a minute. Already up to $510 used for this Moff Tarkin. Wow. Free shipping, great seller, 411 feedback, all 100% positive. Are you kidding me? Let's go to another one. Look, I'll pull this up. How's the Han and Chewbacca 2-pack doing? And you could see here, still with just under 3 hours left in this economy, and it's used. We all know that the new versions of these go way more than used. But even the used, still $900, not including the $32 in shipping, not including taxes, right at the $1,000 tier range average that this is at. Again, $1,000 average on a piece like this. I mean, sometimes it'll go for over $1,200. Sometimes it'll go for around $800. You see this right in the range. We have 25 watchers already. Absolutely unbelievable. Another outstanding seller. Over 928 feedback, approaching up to 1,000. All 100% positive. Again, some of your rare pieces, even in this economy, and it shows to the value of Hot Toys' future value. Like I pointed out in the last market show that I put out last Sunday on Hot Toys value. Go check that out on the channel if you haven't watched that yet. You want to know what the future value for Hot Toys is in the next years to come? I do a deep dive into that. You're seeing some of the evidence here as I'm pointing up on the screen. Look, I could even pull this up on the screen on something that is damaged on the head sculpt. On the head sculpt. On the head sculpt. It's damaged. Please read with this heading. And $325 with a ton of bids and 84 watchers. Outstanding seller with over 14,000 feedback. And anyone trying to get an Obi-Wan Kenobi from A New Hope at a price that is halfway decent. I'll pull up. You can even see the marks on the head sculpt. This is a big warning sign for a lot of people who collect these figures just for the head sculpts. And with damage going for this, are you kidding me? Hot Toys value? Desire for Hot Toys? Yeah, it's a buyer's market. And when you look at some of these pieces like Obi-Wan Kenobi, you look at some of these figures like the Arena Suit Boba Fett, and you want to project forward into a year or a couple of years when the economy's healing, when the economy's good, when you and I and many other people get more expendable income to buy these figures, and there hasn't been a reissue of the Revenge of the Sith Obi-Wan, or the A New Hope Obi-Wans, or the Revenge of the Sith Anagins, or Princess Leia's, or some of these figures. You want to know what the value of those are going to be if they don't put out another 2.0 or a reissue of Tarkin in 2 years, where that figure is going to be? Down in the toilet with the First Order Snowtrooper or whatever the heck, or higher than it is now. It's going to be higher. There's your value. But right now, it's absolutely 100% a buyer's market. Because so many of these other figures are selling under. Still selling high, but not selling quite where their average is. A lot of demand, but you can get some good deals right now. And even when you pull up figures like this one here, this Qui-Gon Jinn, and pretty decent price, $305. And this figure will get to where Dooku and Krennic is, but not where it was, and coming in on the series, Liam Neeson. But it's an economy right now where it's just, so $305 plus $20, $325 plus taxes, sure. But right now you can find some really, really good deals on some of these other figures. I love Qui-Gon Jinn. Not quite at the level of some of the other characters and that I put on here for many collectors anyway. But you could even look at, and here's another example. Here's one, and here's a seller we all know, a seller that I buy from, a seller where I'm getting not only my Boba Fett on the throne, but my Bo-Katan, which is coming in, and I got that directly from this seller right here, Hawk Wars Toys. Are you kidding me? His name is Ray. Not only can you get figures like Bo-Katan, like the Dark Trooper, like Boba and the Throne, all the figures that are in stock from Ray at Hawk Wars Toys, but if you're looking for anything from a Mud Trooper to an Emperor on the Throne, to A New Hope, Obi-Wan Kenobi, or Revenge of the Sith, Obi-Wan Kenobi, Hawk Wars Toys can get it for you. And look at this deal right now. You want to talk about a buyer's market? You can get a Mud Trooper right now from a very reputable seller like Hawk Wars. Are you kidding me? Look at the pictures you got in here. Brand new Mud Trooper, $327. $327, really? Wow. For a Mud Trooper right now, that is an absolutely incredible deal. And that's just an example out there. That's pretty good. And in time to come, I've already told you where I think this one's heading. And it's heading high. And he puts in just some outstanding pictures. So, you're wondering what you're getting, when you buy from sellers like Ray. And there's a lot of sellers who do this. But sticking with Ray here for a minute, I mean, just look at the pictures in here. You know what you're getting. A lot of intricate pieces with this. And really, you could go ahead. You look at these different type of ones that they have here, and if you look at everything that he sells, let's go to see if some of his other items. Yeah, I mean, look at some of these deals that you can get up on there right now, and I even think he has a look at this Dark Trooper. So I don't think there's a deal on this one right now, but you can go ahead and just buy this for $229. Wow. Pretty good. Pretty good for the Dark Trooper right now. Again, another great seller. Now at 1,379 feedback. All 100% positive. But as you can see up in here, it's not a seller's market right now. It's a buyer's market, baby. It's a buyer's market for sure. Um, let's go back to 6scalecantina.com. Again, looking at the biggest movers section up on here, kind of the same story. Luke Trooper, Obi-Wan, Snow Troopers, Chrome Clone Trooper, hovering around $300, dipping a little bit right about there. Dark Side Anakin up. Arena Suit Boba Fett. The Leia's all forget about it. K2SO on the uptick up. You can take a look over here on a lot of these figures. A lot of very cool and interesting stuff going on in the secondary market for Star Wars Hot Toys for sure. I'm pulling up one of these Luke Troopers. I can pull it right up on the screen for you here right now. You can see right here with, gosh, 20 bids, $552.78. Mind you, it's new, but it is gone. Another outstanding seller, 2,420 feedback, all 100% positive. Again, some of these rare pieces. So if these pieces that I'm going to put up on the screen now, this is wave one. This is the wave one that I'm pulling up here on the screen that you can see here. If these pieces wind up being as rare as some of the ones we were going over, it's a whole new ball game for collecting Hot Toys in the future. And I, quite frankly, welcome it. I like the smaller runs. I like that these aren't up for forever and a day to be able to get. I like that there's a certain window, and that's it. And I think with how much stock that they've had over the last couple of years, I think it's hurt them badly. I think it's made Hot Toys on some of these releases seem like it's not a really good investment collecting wise. And even though I've spoken so many times that we shouldn't collect as an investment these toys, it's still an investment nonetheless. And you still want to feel good about what you're buying. You don't want to feel, by any stretch of the imagination, most of us anyway, don't want to feel that every single figure we buy is going to be a heartbreak loss of money like the Beskar Mandalorian pieces. You want to feel that way with every piece you buy? No matter how much you love it, innately, we're going to want to know that what we bought has some worth, has some value. And we're kind of moving away from that a little bit. And so, in a way, what has happened in this economy and everything else been awful, in a way has been maybe good for Hot Toys as an eye-opener to go back to the days of old, more limited runs, not so many. And they are becoming very, very popular. Star Wars is becoming very, very popular. Disney is making everything very, very popular, and are going to be doing more and more. There needs to be a new way. There needs to be innovation in the way that we manufacture, in the way that we produce, in the way that we offer these things up for sale, in the way that we offer up collectibles, in the way that we purchase them, in the way that we that they run and they track within the secondary market. If they can get this wave to track like the Han Stormtrooper, the Luke Stormtrooper, like the Revenge of the Sith Obi-Wan, like some figures like the Mud Trooper, like the Heavy Infantry Mandalorian, so on and so forth, people are going to look in the secondary market when they're looking to get in to start buying Hot Toys, and they're going to be like, wow, these freaking things are hot. No pun intended. These things are worth a lot of money. These things, you better hop on them real quick, fast, in a hurry, or you're going to miss out. All the ingredients necessary to make your product a hot, again, no pun intended, commodity. And a little bit with all this stock has made it not so hot of a commodity, except for some of the rare pieces and stuff that goes, and the stuff that's in the secondary market. Now that whole narrative is changing. And I say it's for the better. Again, tomorrow, 6 scale raw. Don't forget. Do not forget to go ahead. It's up right now on YouTube. Go ahead and click the little notification. Hit the like button on it early. Tomorrow, 8:15 p.m. Eastern, the year in review. We're going to talk about some of this stuff like this and a bunch of other stuff. Don't forget about that. Also, don't forget about, and I know this is also up right now. I put it up a week early. A week early, baby. But look at this up on the screen. You can go on YouTube and put your notification up here now. Christmas Eve morning with the Dark Jedi, 10 a.m. Eastern on December 24th. Once again this year, it's going to be awesome. We're going to have spread some holiday cheer. We're going to spread some Christmas cheer. We're going to say Happy New Year. It's going to be fun. 10 a.m. Eastern. We'll have Grogu at table 5. We'll have the Mandalorian at table 2. We'll have Thor at table 2. We'll have Jim Carrey at table 2. We'll have so many people at table Oblivion. Of course, the Emperor will be at table 66, along with Pennywise. They're going to have a little bit of a battle. Who's going to win? Pennywise versus the Emperor. Remember, mind tricks and Freddy Krueger stuff does not work on the strong-minded like the Emperor. He has the Force. Please go ahead and smash that like button. Thank you so much for watching. Also, subscribe if this is the first time you've watched 6 Scale Cantina, Aries Cantina here. Again, and if you've liked what you heard, and I pointed this out a little bit earlier in the show, just go to 6scalecantina.com, go to the little yellow section, and you can see that I got a new show that's going to be coming up. It's going to piggyback off this show. It's an insider extra. We're going to be talking about production numbers on a lot about what we talked about and what's on pre-order right now. Do I have some insight as to what we're looking at? And I say yes. So you don't want to miss that. Again, you can see some of the other banners here. A lot of the stuff I talk about. And sometimes we luck out. They come to pass, like you see here with the Phase 2 coming this year and with a lot of the characters. I have a lot of fun stuff. Go ahead and join the channel. Click on the little join button. I do appreciate your support. I don't always buy coffee out, but when I do, I buy from 6 Scale Cantina. Stay thirsty, my friends.